The position of coordinating is one that requires extensive knowledge of all aspects of the restaurant's operation. It represents the culmination of an individual's mastery of each position, particularly the BBQ. But it also involves more than this. An effective CO has also come to recognize the importance of communication. Through communication with the customer, staff, and management, the CO must readily identify problems and take steps toward the solution. He or she is a troubleshooter, a quality controller, and a decision maker. In short, the CO assumes the responsibility for the entire operation. Disposition is the cornerstone of the CO's success. They should be well-mannered, courteous, calm, rational, decisive, and understanding. The extent of these traits will influence his or her success. Once these characteristics have been properly developed, a CO has won half the battle. The other half of the battle is communicating with three main groups of people: your customer, the chef, and the staff. Prior to a description of what a CO actually does, let's take a look at these three groups. Number 1. The customer. The majority of Weber's customers make contact with 3 or 4 staff members: the person on orders, the cashier, the CO, and perhaps one staff member on either drinks, put-ons, or carrying French fries. While many would argue the point, the CO is more often the one who leaves a lasting impression on the customer. A case in point: the order taker may make an error on the bill, strike 1. The cashier may make an error in calculation, overcharging for example, strike 2. Yet regardless of what has transpired between the time a customer has arrived and the time he reaches the put on board, the CO's job remains the same. You must make sure the customer leaves satisfied. If you are able to do so, the impact of previous failures can be lessened. This is where your character skills come into play, and organization is often the key. A CEO who takes control and stays on top of the situation, meeting the needs of the customer, is invaluable not only to the restaurant, but to the customer as well. A manager should also share some of this burden with the CEO. Both must work as a team. The first step of the process is based on informed judgment. The ability to match each bill to the particular customer is essential. Common sense plays a large role. An order with 2 well-done hamburgers and 2 coffees more likely belongs to an older couple than a younger one. The opposite is usually true for an order with 2 cheeseburgers and 2 milkshakes, and so on. Making contact with the customer is also crucial. Coordinating is no place for a meek or timid individual. At the same time, being loud and boisterous does not guarantee success. Experience shows that eye contact is the answer. Once you have established it, there is no doubt that you have the customer's attention. Number 2, the chef. The exchange between the CO and the chef is just as important. Without you, the chef is lost. He needs you, and you need him. Never lose sight of this important inner relationship. The aim of this exchange is to establish the proper pace and atmosphere for the restaurant. If the CO is able to maintain control over the chef, the operation will run smoothly. But if the chef works too quickly, putting pressure on all other stations, or works too slowly, causing the customer unnecessary delays, all is lost. In union with this, the CO also informs the chef as to the required ratio of cheeseburgers and hamburgers in a given set of 10 patties. The methods and systems for relaying this information can vary among COs and chefs. Again, you may wish to develop your own method, but consider the following: 7 in 10, one's double, a DPDC, and a DP Berg. That means 7 slices of cheese are required. 1 is for a double patty cheeseburger. 2 are needed to make up a double patty double cheeseburger. 4 are used on 4 cheeseburgers, and the remaining 2 patties become a double patty hamburger. The other way to do it is to give the chef a number, maximum of 4 digits. The first number represents cheese slices. Second number represents DPC. third is DP, and fourth being DPDC. It sounds a great deal more complicated on paper than it is in practice, and that is the only way to learn. Number 3, the staff. The primary source for this area of communication is the put-on personnel and the bun person. Again, it is a two-way street of communication. The put-on people act as a secondary source of information for the CO. They can frequently inform you of missing items, a hamburger, French fries, hot dog, or drink. They can also bring other problems to the attention of the CO. The quality of food and the satisfaction of a customer are two more areas in which the PO people can assist the CO. The bun person also relies on the CO, especially where hot dogs are concerned. When a CO gives the chef the count for each successive set of 10, they must also inform the bun person if any hot dogs or garden burgers are needed. As well, both must periodically confer about the quality of the food. Drink and French fry people must also keep in constant contact with the CO. Missed drinks and French fries are the result otherwise. A slow cashier, order taker, or improperly stocked station must also be of concern to the CO. So generally, the CO must be responsible for keeping staff alert and on their toes. You must ensure that all the elements are in place, which leads to efficiency and high quality. When a problem is identified, you take action. Management. While the CO is normally able to solve the various problems that arise, there are times when this is not possible. This is when managers come into play. Customers who have complained must be treated with the utmost care and compassion. When this becomes impractical for a CO, it is your job to approach the on-duty manager for assistance. The same goes for problems that arise on our side of the counter. Consistent slow-ups at the cash register, on drinks, or anywhere else in the restaurant are the domain of the CO. You must make management aware of such problems so that corrective measures can be taken. The combination of recognizing problems and then initiating steps toward the solution are paramount to a CO's success. Moving boxes. So we have covered the various elements which the CO must master. It is now time to deal with your primary function, moving boxes, and therefore customers to the second PO board. While it may seem trivial, the orderly and systematic movement of customers through the restaurant hinges on this exercise. By keeping the second PO person busy, the CO keeps everyone busy. The end result, speed and efficiency. Implicit on this is that it tests the system. By keeping the pressure on, weak links in the chain can be identified and remedied. During peak hours and on weekends, the best method is to move the larger family and group orders to the second board. Maintain a steady flow by avoiding crossing customers over each other. If necessary, advise customers their order will be ready at the end when the line clears out. Not only does this make the CO's job easier, it also alleviates the limitations of space on either side of the counter. A second method used, and one that should be avoided, involves calling orders out to the PO person at the second board. This invariably leads to confusion unless you have developed a rapport with your PO people. In situations where an unexpected bus arrives, it may prove helpful, but for the most part, it creates more problems than it solves. Avoid it whenever possible. Summary. The CO is the quality controller. Many businesses tend to overlook this area. Weber's does not. A customer has a great number of expectations when he arrives, and it is up to the CO to see that these are met. In many respects, then, the CO is the binding force that keeps the entire operation together. Remember these points. Communication. Whether it is with the customer, staff, or management, the CO must get their message across. Disposition. The CO is under constant pressure from a variety of sources. Because of this, you must develop characteristics that enable you to cope. Make the effort to be courteous, understanding, calm, and decisive. It will increase your chances for success. Professionalism is also important. The nature of this position is that it subjects the CO to a great deal of attention. Therefore, the various duties described must be carried out in a professional way. Control. This applies not only to your relationship with the chef, it includes everything and everyone around you. If you can exercise control effectively, problems will arise less frequently, and those that do, you will have better control over. Always see and be aware of the big picture.